What if I told you you don't need to be strong to be resilient? You just need to be willing to keep showing up. That's it. If you've ever looked at someone and thought, wow, I could never be that strong, I've got something to tell you. They probably thought the same thing once too. In today's episode, we're going to flip the script on what resilience actually means. This is not going to be your typical just stay positive advice. We are talking real, raw, and honest truth about what it actually takes to keep going when life feels heavy. I'm going to share personal stories, common myths, psychological insights, and most importantly, the truth about how willingness, not strength, is the real superpower. Let's dive in. Let me take you back a few years. I remember moments, maybe you've had one like this, sitting in my car after a really hard day at work, hands on the steering wheel, completely frozen. I was trying to muster up the energy to go inside, pretend everything was fine, cook dinner, do the usual stuff. But everything inside me felt shattered, not in a dramatic way, just a quiet kind of broken that doesn't make a sound. And I thought to myself, I'm so tired. I can't keep doing this. But somehow I did. Not because I was strong, not because I had it all figured out, not because I had some perfect morning routine or fancy life coach. I just decided to keep going. That was it. I was willing to try again tomorrow, willing to feel the discomfort, willing to keep showing up even when I didn't know what I was showing up for. And that right there is resilience. We tend to think resilience look like someone running a marathon after breaking their leg or starting a business from scratch after losing everything. Those stories are inspiring, sure, but what about the resilience it takes to get out of bed after a week of panic attacks or to forgive yourself after years of carrying shame? That's the kind of resilience no one claps for. But it's the one that matters most. That's the problem. We've been taught that resilience is about strength, as if you have to be some emotionally armored, high achieving superhero to end the bad. But the truth? Resilience is simply your ability to recover, to bounce back, to adapt. Psychologists define it as the process of adapting well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or significant sources of stress. Nowhere in there does it say you have to be unshakable. Let's break this down even more. Resilience is not the absence of struggle. It's not about never falling apart or always staying calm. It's about how you respond after the fall. And here is where willingness comes in. Willingness is your decision, moment by moment, to keep choosing yourself. Even when it's messy, even when it's slow, even when you feel like nothing is changing. There's a story I love about bamboo. Did you know that when you plant a bamboo seed, nothing happens for the first 5 years? Yes, 5 years. You water it, you nourish it, you stare at a patch of dirt for 5 whole years. And then suddenly it shoots up 90 feet in just 6 weeks. Wow. Why? Because it wasn't growing on the outside. It was growing underground, building roots, anchoring itself deep enough to support that kind of explosive growth. That's what resilience looks like. Unseen, underground, slow and steady, and built through your willingness to stay in it. Let's talk about a real life example. I once coached someone who was battling burnout, deep depression, and a chronic illness. She felt ashamed for not being strong. She couldn't work, she couldn't keep up with her kids. She felt like a failure. But every week, she showed up to her sections. She journaled even when she had no energy. She breathed through her panic attacks. She started practicing 30 seconds of silence in the mornings just to ground herself. She was willing to try, and over time, she rebuilt herself from the inside out. Her transformation didn't come from strength. It came from one tiny trembling act of willingness at a time. Here's what you need to understand. Strength is a result, not a requirement. It's what you gain from the willingness to keep going. Resilience is built in the mud, not in the spotlight. But I get it. Willingness sounds vague, right? So, let me break down 3 things willingness looks like in real life. Number 1, the willingness to feel discomfort. You can't grow if you're not willing to sit with hard feelings. That doesn't mean you need to wallow. It just means you're not running away from the truth of what you feel. That moment when you say, "This hurts, but I'm gonna stay here and breathe through it." That's resilience. Number 2, the willingness to ask for help. This one's huge. Real resilience is humble. It knows that asking for support is a power move, not a weakness. If you've ever sent a "can we talk" text or booked a therapy section while your voice trembled, you are resilient. Number 3, the willingness to start again. Every time you decided to show up after failing, after falling or freezing, that's your resilience muscles getting stronger. It's not about never falling. It's about willing to stand up even if you do it slowly or with help. But here's where most people get stuck. They wait until they feel strong before taking action. But the truth is, action creates strength. You don't wait to be strong to move forward. You move forward and get stronger as you go. Think of it like learning to swim. No one becomes a great swimmer by standing on the shore reading books about swimming. At some point, you've got to get in the water. You choke, you panic, but little by little, you figure it out. And suddenly, you're not just staying afloat, you are actually swimming. So if you're going through something hard right now, and let's be honest, most of us are, I want you to know you don't need to fix everything today. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to feel strong. You just need to be willing. Willing to breathe through one more minute. Willing to try again tomorrow. Willing to give yourself compassion instead of criticism. That willingness, that's what makes you resilient. I know it doesn't always feel like enough, but it is. And here's the twist. The more you practice willingness, the more capacity you build. The more you keep going despite the mess. The more you realize, I can do hard things. Not because life suddenly gets easier, but because you get steady. Let me leave you with this. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to chase strength. You don't even need to have it all together. Just be willing. Willing to feel, willing to fail, willing to keep going. That's where your power lives. If this video helped you, don't forget to show some love, hit that subscribe button and join our beautiful community. And if you're ready to step into that power, not through pressure, but with gentle, steady willingness, don't stop here. Watch my video, 5 hacks for a radiant mindset. It's popping up right now and it will guide you through simple, powerful shifts to keep building that inner strength. Click on it next. It just might change how you see yourself. Until next time, stay radiant and take care of your beautiful mind and body.